Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday morning in December, cold morning, and up and at it this morning. Getting back to my workout, I did take a day of rest yesterday and recovery, and feeling good today from that. Got a good night's sleep the night before and last night, and then just did some light walking for 30 minutes last night. Walked about 2.5 miles, so just kept the body going yesterday. Feeling pretty good. Still feeling some soreness in my legs from the workout on Sunday, but that's to be expected. I went pretty hard that day and hit the quads, the calves, and the hamstrings pretty hard. And so feeling well this morning. Up and at 'em, hitting the chest and triceps today here at the gym. It was a bit of a struggle this morning. Just getting up and getting out. I wake up at 4:30 and it's 5:07 right now. So I wake up, get a little snack in me, make sure I drink water, and then a pre-workout, drink a little coffee before I come up here. So, it takes me a little bit to get going. I don't just hop up and get up here. So that's takes a little bit of time to get the engine warmed up for me. I did my measurements yesterday or last night, and I was a little frustrated because the weight has gone up, but not the measurements on my quads or my chest or my biceps. So they're basically the same from week to week, which is probably too often to measure every week, but still, I would like to see progress very quickly, but that's kind of where the problem is for me with the mindset of having this really short-term mindset. Like, I want something to happen in a week's time. I want to be massive in a week's time, and that's just not going to happen. So I have to be aware of that and have to know that it's going to take some consistency over a long period of time, especially at my age. And you can't grow weary, can't get upset, can't get down because you don't see progress in a week or 2 weeks. And, overall, I look in the mirror and I definitely see progress from a month, 2 months, 3 months ago. And so things are happening based upon the work that I'm putting in. But from week to week, I'm just not seeing it like I want to, but I know I'm not going to. So it's kind of preparing myself for the long term. It's a weight training event, but for the marathon, that this isn't a sprint, it's a marathon that you consistently work at, you consistently push into. And so, I'm going to keep doing the measurements, keep taking the weight, because I think that's the best way I have available to me to measure progress outside of just looking in the mirror. But I have to know that when I do the measurement, when I do the weigh-in, that that isn't I shouldn't base my feelings upon that, or base my emotions or whatever you want to call it upon that, because those are just a small snapshot of time, a short measurement of time, and the short measurement of progress. And so, I had rested all day. I hadn't worked out any. There was no necessarily any blood flow or pump into those muscle groups. So, the last time I measured, I did it after a workout, I think. So obviously I'm going to be different with some blood flowing into the muscles when I measure them. So you have to think about all those things and just consider that, and just don't give up because you're not seeing results immediately. And I think that's the hardest part for me, just because I've put off working out consistently for so long, and now that I expect it to happen like immediately, and that's just not the way things work. I think it's the way the world we live in right now. It's like we think we should get rewarded for showing up, but that's really not where the rewards come. The rewards come in the daily grind of stuff, the daily push through, the daily work, the daily effort, the daily pain, the daily struggle. That's where the growth happens. And so I just have to get into that mindset that I have to push into those aspects of struggle, even the pain of it, and push through that. And that's where the growth happens. So that's physical, but that's also mental. I'm just getting in that routine of pushing through. So anyways, that's what I'm thinking about today. Took me a bit to get going this morning, but here I am, up and at it. I did drop my caloric intake back just a little bit from 3,500 to 3,000. One of the things I have noticed is when I intake a lot of carbs that my metabolism just doesn't fire off like it did when I was 20. You know, it's got 25 years of age on it, so I think my body deals with the high intake of carbohydrates different. My belly measurement did go up by 1/2 inch around the circumference of my belly, so that does let me know, and that's another point of frustration, that I'm adding some fat, which I don't want to do that right now. I know it's part of the process of bulking, but I don't want to add too much additional body fat right now, so I'm going to drop back, keeping my protein and my fat. You know, my fat's like 70 grams a day, my protein's 250, 260, somewhere in there, and then kind of dropping back on the carb intake for the next month or so, and just seeing what that does to my overall body composition. And started that yesterday. I didn't even hit my full caloric intake yesterday, and just did hit my protein intake, but missed the overall caloric intake, which I think is okay on a recovery day. I need to kind of do some research on that. Is it okay to kind of be lower on recovery days, or is that today you got to be on full feed because your muscles are rebuilding? But I'm having trouble forcing myself to eat enough food right now, so kind of used to eat like a bird, I guess, just here and there, but trying to force feed in enough calories in a day is difficult. But I know it has to be done for this part of the process, so I just chew away and try to find the foods that are easiest to chew up, easiest to digest, and easiest to work through the system. So anyways, those are the things I'm thinking about today. The frustrations come, but the work still has to come. So the gym door's right over there. I'm sitting outside in my truck. I'm going to head over there and get into it, get warmed up, get the chest workout and the tricep workout, and then be back to the house and get the day started. So I'll see you inside here in just a minute. All right, some warm-ups, shoulder work, get the shoulders warmed up and those joints warmed up. Did a couple reps, just the bar, kind of get going. I'm gonna work barbell inclines to start out with, go from barbell inclines. I'll probably do some dumbbell inclines, trying to work that upper half of the pec muscle, keep developing it, so there's some balance from here throughout the pec muscle. And then I'll finish up with dumbbell bench press. I can really move some heavier weight with that, and also the safety issue of being in here by myself, so I don't drop that thing on the body. So man, part of being, I'm not making excuses, but part of being older, I just sore all the time. My joints seem to be suffering some. This knee, for some reason, I played basketball last Wednesday night, and it has had some fluid buildup in it since then. It didn't prevent me from working out legs on Sunday, other than just some tightness in it. I'm trying to stretch that hamstring and quad out on there just to get that knee to loosen up. I don't think it's any stability damage. It's just, I didn't feel anything while I was playing basketball. Just after I was done, just some soreness and tightness to it. So I'm trying to nurse that with some walking and get it back going again. So anyways, legs are still sore today from the workout on Sunday night, which is good and to be expected. It's just that knee is kind of being a little frustrating for me. I'm not working legs today, so I would give it some time to recover. Tomorrow will be a back and biceps day, so we'll have some more rest outside of doing a little cardio this afternoon. But anyways, I'm gonna get on the chest exercises, those started, and see how that goes. good first set there on inclines. Definitely getting stronger because 20 reps there on 135 is very good for me. So probably more reps than I want to do, but as a first set, it's okay. So I've noticed over the last couple weeks just the ability to increase my weights on every movement. So, you know, with the frustration of yesterday and the measurements of size not getting necessarily bigger, I'm seeing some gains in strength, which is good. And there's a connection there between gaining muscular size and addition of strength. So, you know, encouraging this morning, helped me with the mindset just a little bit. So for the next sets, I'm going to go the heaviest I think I can handle for this next set. And then I'll start dropping down from there as I work to the fourth and probably the fifth set on inclines here. Talked about a few weeks ago, making sure I get in here and do my cardio just because it helps with the overall feeling, the overall aerobic ability during weight training and recovery time as well. So to be honest, I'm still slacking on hitting that cardio like I should. So gotta make that a consistent priority this week and make it happen. So anyways, for some reason I have a cardio block in my mind, but I gotta get that out of the way and make sure I'm getting that in. Because like even now, I know it's 20 reps, but just being winded, having to take a little more time just to recover before I go to the next set, you know, isn't ideal for being in the weight room and trying to get a workout done in, you know, a matter of an hour and not an hour and a half or hour and 45. So anyways, that's what I'm thinking through. I was listening last night to Schwarzenegger has a book called Be Useful. I recommend it to you. He reads the book, so it's cool in his voice, but he just talks about people always saying they don't have time. But then he says, give me your phone. He looks at their screen time and they got 3, 4, 5 hours a day on their screen, but 3 hours on social media per day. And he's like, there's your time right there. Just get up off the couch and go make the time happen. So, you know, I'm busy. We're all busy. We all got stuff we got to do during the day. You just got to carve out that 20, 30 minutes to get on the bike, go for a walk, treadmill, Stairmaster, whatever it is you have at your disposal. Just got to get on there and make it happen. So that's what I have to do in order to see some progress. And that would probably help with not only the overall cardiovascular, the windedness, but also the belly fat that I'm carrying around would at least keep that somewhat at bay and not increase it at this time. So, you know, I can make excuses or make moves. And so I got to start making the moves. All right, I'm going to jump back on this and finish up my sets on this, and then I'll hop over onto incline dumbbell, incline barbell. And I'll knock out some triceps and I'll be done for the day. So see you here in just a minute. Hey, I'm back, everybody. Back at the house, sitting here in the truck out front. Got done with the workout today. A buddy of mine came in and was working out and started playing music over the speaker, so I can't record it, or I couldn't record. I guess I could have. Now I just have to mute it with no sound, but I didn't get the rest of the workout on video. So I went from incline barbell, and then I went to incline dumbbell, and as heavy as I could. I'm working with the 70 pounders right now. That's, you know, it's good for me. That's good progress. and then went to flat bench dumbbell, and I did some cable squeezes with the rubber bands just to finish off the chest, and then I did some push-ups to failure. One thing I haven't tried before on a chest day is just push-ups, other than doing some warm-up push-ups. So it felt good. It's just when you go to failure on a push-up, you know, you kind of crash to the ground. So I think I failed at like 18 push-ups. So, you know, that's good. Just wanted to finish off the pec muscles for the day, and that went well. And then I went to some tricep. I did lying overhead extensions, one arm at a time with the dumbbell, 25 pounds on each side for 3 sets. I just worked triceps on Sunday night, so it was obvious to me that they're not fully recovered, but the way my training circuit goes, triceps are back-to-back, and then shoulders are back-to-back on some workouts with a day of rest in between. So there is some recovery from like 36 to 48 hours of recovery, but I can still sense the soreness in the triceps today, but still got a good workout, and working 25 pounds to failure, which was about 10 reps and was actually 8 reps on the 3rd set. So triceps going good, growing. Chest worked good. Still have this little twinge in my shoulder right here, and you know, it ticks me off, but I may have to just take a week or 2 weeks off. I don't know. I'm thinking through it. It doesn't bother me while I'm lifting shoulders or chest. It's just sore afterwards, right? From right where it connects to that joint all the way down to the top of my bicep. So I know it's that, I think it's a tendon there that connects and runs up to the top of your upper arm bone there. It's just sore all the time. It gets angry at me, and I stretch it out, I warm it up, and it just stays angry. And I do stretches at night that I think I've shown in some other videos, just arms back, arms down, and then rotation, and rotating side to side, and then some squeezing in front. I do all those every night. When I start doing them in the morning, just try to get the soreness worked out of that, and try to get it to where it's not angry at me all the time. So I don't want to stop lifting, because that's pretty much limits all upper body exercises on the shoulder. But the flip side of that, if it becomes a major issue for me, then I'm looking at, you know, more than a few weeks off. I'm looking at months while I rehab that or whatever needs to be done to it. So it's not in my rotator cuff. It's just in that connective tissue that goes from, I don't know if you can see right here, all the way down in there, but it's just sore right here at the top of my shoulder, right in the top of my mid delt right there. And I can push my finger on it and find the spot right there. So I may get our trainer to look at it again, see what he thinks, if I should just hold off on all upper body for a while and let that recover, or if there's some other kind of rehab movements I can do during the week to strengthen that thing and get it less irritated. For sure, stretch it out. Some I'm thinking about. I mean, for now, I'm full throttle ahead and gonna keep working and just stubborn, I guess. We'll see kind of how that works out. I mean, like I said, when I do get it warmed up, stretched out, I'm fine. I can do the bench press, I can do inclines, I can do overhead shoulder press. I haven't been doing a lot of that because it does seem to kind of irritate a little more, but even with side lateral raises, front lateral raises, and bend over laterals, it doesn't affect it, as far as there's no pain while I'm going through the motion or the movement. It's just afterwards it's sore, and it's sore for a day or so, and then you know, it kind of cools off and it gets less angry at me. But just thinking through what that means for me short term, but also long term. So I'll talk to someone today and see kind of what they think on that issue that I'm going through. But other than that, I had a good chest workout today, got a good pump, went to failure, and then just tried to do some partial reps with some of the weights I was working at on the dumbbell stuff. And so it's working good. One of the things that's helped me is having video to watch some form issues, making sure, you know, I have kind of the same form, same range of motion on both arms, especially on the dumbbell work. And then just seeing my bench press, I'm feeling pretty comfortable about that. Just where the motion of my elbows and that path that I'm using. And then one of the things that I used to do on bench press was I would lock the elbows out at the top, and that just automatically takes the weight and the stress off of the pec muscles and puts it onto your elbow, which is a no-no. And then obviously your triceps are a lot more engaged at that point. So just working to a point of extension and flexion in the chest muscle, but not to lockout, has helped tremendously in my chest routine, and seen some things happen there. And then today I worked on kind of a quicker repetition instead of working on the negatives. So negatives would be the slow down, then the press up. So I was a little faster pace working through my reps today. And that seems to be effective for me. And I'll never go away from negatives. I think there's definitely some advantage to doing negative work and controlling the weight down and then pressing back up through the motion. So just put some stress, hold stress on that muscle group that you're working. So I go back and forth. I alternate, I guess what I'm trying to tell you, back and forth between, kind of a quicker repetition, up, down, and then a slower negative repetition, and then a power burst up through the lift. So couldn't really tell you one way or the other which one is more effective at this point, just because I alternate back and forth, and sometimes it just depends on time. If I need to get out of there, I'll go through the reps a lot quicker and not do the negative work. But I know there's definitely advantages to taking time to control weight, allowing that lengthened time of stress on the muscle group, and then pressing forward or pulling out of it, whatever group you're working on, muscle group you're working on. So some advantages there. But so good workout today. Heading back into the work routine for this week, and then finish up our school week, and then we have 3 days next week, and then we'll be on Christmas break for like 18 days. So considering being crazy during the break and going to the gym twice a day, hitting one muscle group in the morning, one in the evening. So it would be like a shoulder day, quad day, chest day, hamstring day, and then maybe do arms but all together, and then doing calves somewhere in there. So just probably going to do that for at least a week, just to really stress the body. I'll have some time to rest during that, and really push into it. And then that week we come back in January, maybe taking kind of a little break, not going to the gym, but just a lighter weights, kind of a deloading week, and then pushing it hard through January and February as I finish up the bulk phase. And then in March, start, cutting back, trying to cut the fat on the body, get the summer bod in gear, or the spring body in shape. And that's kind of the thought I'm having right now of the progress I'm going to make. But one thing I tell my student athletes all the time: you don't ever get today back. And tomorrow, if you look back at today, it's just can be filled with regret, or it can be filled with this sense of accomplishment. So, if I look back at today's workout, I feel accomplished, I did well. And then I'm looking into tomorrow's, which is back and bicep, just preparing for that, getting mentally ready to do the maximum plus a little extra effort when I go into the gym, and making sure I take full advantage of my time there, because I don't get to go back to today's workout, and once tomorrow's gone, I don't get to go back to it. So it's maximum effort. When I'm in the door, the switch goes on, and you got to make it happen. So hopefully that's encouraging for you. Don't be regretful. Don't say, I'll do it tomorrow, because tomorrow really never comes. Today's all you got, and you got to work in today with what you got. Even myself, I go to the gym, we don't have cable machines, so I use the rubber bands. That seems to be working effectively for me to get stress and fatigue and a good workout on the muscle group. I'm working with what I got. So you got to start where you are, and hopefully today you can start where you are. If you're on the couch watching some YouTube, hop up, take a walk around the block. If you got some weights in the house, start throwing them around a little bit, do some curls, do some shoulder presses, and just get something going for yourself, especially if you're older like I am, 45. I'm on my way to 50. I say I'm halfway to 50, but that'd be 25 years old. So I'm halfway through 40, on my way to 50. And just this year, I'm getting back into a really solid weight training routine. And I'm sore, and there's some things to work out, but I really never have felt better and since I was in the gym 20 years ago. So I would encourage you to get in it, get after it if you can. I mean, the only thing that's guaranteed from as we age is that we do lose muscle mass, even bone mass. And you can read some studies that show that the increase of muscle mass and bone mass adds to longevity. and a longer, more fulfilling, healthier, whatever kind of life you want to call it, a better life in a sense. You just have to put in the work, and you got to do it today. So hopefully that's encouraging to you. Other than that, I got to get in here and eat some breakfast, get through the morning routine, and then head to work. Hope you have a great Tuesday, and then I'll see you tomorrow when we hit back and biceps. Have a great day.